Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series for the first time in more than 3 decades, and they're riding high right now. What about Rogers? It's the parent company of the team, and of course, it's broadcasting the games. So what's the impact on Rogers? Let's kick off with that. We're joined by Pathak, CEO of NewPath Sports and Entertainment. And you guys specialize in sports partnerships and marketing?
Yes, our agency's focus is very much around the sports landscape and playing within, the field of play and outside as well.
I want to get to that in a moment, but what about Rogers? How good is this for them in business terms?
Massive. So their core business from cell phones, wireless, streaming, all those things are impacted. Their ability to advertise on all platforms is massively growing. They've sold out inventory through the ALCS, DS, and definitely through the World Series. The reality is they've created new opportunities as well to sell with a squeeze up during the game, which you've seen.
What's a squeeze up?
Sorry. So during the field of play, during the game, they will close the screen and bring in an advertiser and be able to advertise while you're watching the game. It's very innovative what they're doing. It's a way to keep the fan connected to the game while being able to advertise for their partners.
Sorry, just give me that again. Is this a split screen? Or
no, it's a squeeze up. So the field of play is still active. The screen of the field of which you're watching the game becomes slightly smaller, and they bring in a partner, a squeeze up, almost like a suicide squeeze in baseball.
Okay. And TD, this is great for them. They've been backing the Blue Jays for years, and of course it's on the players' sleeves, their logo.
There's a very much a true commitment from TD to the Toronto Blue Jays Baseball Club. They own a number of entitlements, including the premier TD lounge seats located right behind home plate. They've got a massive commitment to connecting Canadians to baseball, and they're using it through George Springer, who's just become an absolute wonderful asset for the brand as a local and fan-favorite hero.
Actually, just swing back to Rogers here. Any cell phone company, like our parent company, BCE, it attracts criticism from consumers from time to time. They say, we can't get through, etc. And you say Rogers has come in for its share of criticism over the years.
Yes.
And so that's part of their strategy here?
Yeah, so I think there's a real halo effect around Rogers. They've been very intentional in connecting fans to the brand by allowing fans to be able to buy seats or secure seats for free, very much focused on their customer base. In fact, they've gone so far as to change the branding inside the building from their traditional red to the boys in blue. Oh. And so they've been very intentional. They're really trying to connect fans and change what is, a heartfelt way that you feel about paying for your cell phone and your wireless bill into a positive sentiment.
There are some hazards, though, here for companies. We've already been talking on the show about sky-high ticket prices, the massive player salaries, and the fear that it's just it's just become too corporate, the whole thing. So how do you navigate that?
I don't think the Jays have truly committed to the full corporate bit. I think they've done a great balance of connecting fans and their corporate community. The Blue Jays today have 60 to 70 partners. They will most likely grow that close to 80 to 90 based on the success today. But fans are able to still, during the regular season, walk into that building for $20 and be able to watch live baseball. I think there's a real balance here. They've done a great job of being able to connect the sport with the fan today and bring in the corporate space as well.
So you guys were involved in that stunt whereby a Colonel Sanders lookalike sat behind home plate at one of the games.
Yes.
And that you were working with KFC Canada.
So we were very much not involved in the idea, but we were aimed in executing the product. We secured the very intentional seats for a premium price. And I want to be very careful in terms of what I say. We were very intentional in knowing what the rules are with the Toronto Blue Jays Baseball Club. In full disclosure, we have a client, Rocky Health, who is a partner of the club. We know the rules, but at no point did we ever break the rules. The marks of the Blue Jays are very powerful and very impactful, and partners pay a premium to do that. But within that space, there are grays, and if you play in the grays, you will come out a winner. And we did that from first pitch right up to the 27th out. And so we're very, very careful. But there is a lot of opportunity for true traditional branded partners to be a part of the Toronto Blue Jays family.
So the KFC thing was a little cheeky.
Yes.
Because you're not an official partner, but as you say, you don't want to go too far with these things.
Yeah, so I don't work for KFC or the agency,
Okay.
but we would say very carefully, there are opportunities to play in the gray, and we found those areas, and we want to remind people that if you do things right, you can be very impactful. Anything after the field of play in the game, where you start to use rights and images, that is not what we condone, and we've been very intentional about that.
And just remind us, demographically, can you give us some insight? Compared with hockey and NFL,
Yeah.
is baseball a young audience or an older one, or are there any features of the baseball fans?
So just walking through the hallways here at BNN, you could see all fans wearing all types of paraphernalia.
Yes.
The traditional core fan is definitely on the 40-plus spectrum.
Oh.
They were watching 1992-93, definitely guilty. But the fan today has changed massively. They all want to be part of this traditional great run. And I'm very curious to see what the audience looks like next year. Get your seats now, I would say.
Pretty exciting. Thanks very much, Sonny.
Lovely. Thank you for the time.
Sonny Pathak, CEO of NewPath Sports and Entertainment.